Hey everybody, Real World Prepper here. There's an old saying, maybe not too terribly old, but some of you may remember this. It says, "Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me, you can't get fooled again." You guys remember that? George W. Bush said that. So, we're being fooled. If you don't know, we're being fooled, okay? This whole cornholio thing and the rollout of totalitarianism that's going on, we're being fooled. It's not about the cornholio thing, okay? I'm going to use that word instead of that other word for reasons that I'll touch on a little bit. You guys remember the Patriot Act, right? That bill that, of course, been since signed into law. You know, it was meant to secure the freedoms of Americans, to protect us and our freedoms, right? The Patriot Act. Well, how unpatriotic did that thing turn out to be? Among other things, it enacted the Department of Homeland Security, which costs us now about $53 billion per year. Another offshoot of that is the TSA. That's in every airport, in the country. It costs $9 billion a year annually to operate the TSA. And what does that do? Nothing. That gives you a false sense of security. It's nothing more than security theater, as I heard somebody else say. Um, at the same time, it's hemorrhaging the U.S. taxpayers' bank accounts. It's a travesty. Go back to the Obama administration for another example here. About when the government says something, it ends up being the opposite. The Affordable Care Act, for example. Affordable? Really? Can anybody say that thing is affordable? Can anybody, that is a part of that program, uses that healthcare.gov and all that stuff? Is it affordable, especially compared to what you did have during that time? No. One aspect alone is that website, healthcare.gov. It cost the government $1.7 billion to build that website. $1.7 billion to build a website. You've got to be kidding me. Obviously, there was a bunch of pork stuffed in that. Have they ever heard of Wix? You can create a website yourself, in a day or less. So whatever the government says you should do, you should probably not do. You should probably avoid like the plague. If the government tells you that you should be doing so, or that you should not be doing something, then you probably ought to look into it, because it might be something that you want to do that would benefit you. If they tell you what to think, you should certainly consider what they're telling you to think and why they're telling you to think it. On this platform and on others, the truth is being snuffed out. Information is being controlled and manipulated. In many cases, it's being removed. Regarding this current Cornholio 19, this platform, this one right here that we're on, has put forth guidelines about how we as creators are to speak about it, what we're supposed to say and what we're not supposed to say, the guidelines by which we are allowed to talk about it. And to me, this is very telling. Here's some of the guidelines. This is what you cannot do. You can't show distressing footage. Now, they do note specifically, this platform in these guidelines note specifically, they note some examples. One being like, don't show people real sick in the hospital and things like that. And I get that to a degree, okay? Obviously, if it's somebody you don't know and it's against their will and that kind of thing. But, if you yourself are in the hospital, or if a loved one's in the hospital and, you get consenting people, why wouldn't you? Not that I particularly want to show distressing footage of that regard. The fact that they don't want you, they want it to be puppy dogs and roses. They want you to think, hey, yeah, it's bad, but don't worry your pretty little head about how bad it is. Let's not look at that. Another thing, they state this, okay, in the guidelines. They actually state that you cannot show people being physically removed from their homes for Cornholio 19 contact or thought to have. Now, you remember the guy, and I think it was, I wish I had the name, I don't have it. Well, maybe I think it was somebody with the World Health Organization, maybe. I don't remember, but somebody just recently was saying, we'll go into your homes and we'll pull family members out and quarantine them, against your will, against their will, because, for safety, So the fact that this platform, among the other guidelines, says you cannot show, meaning if you're at your house and they come busting into your house to remove somebody and you pull out your phone and start recording it, you can't post that. They'd probably take your phone from you there on the spot too. They don't want that shown. That's very un-American, to say the least. That is goes completely against the Fourth Amendment, and so they don't want that being shown. They don't want the ugly part of this thing being shown. They also go on to talk about you can't have medical misinformation. They're going to dictate what is accurate, and you're not allowed to participate on this platform if you have anything to say other than the regurgitation of what Fauci and Birx say, for example. They say to only use, quote, reputable sources such as the World Health Organization, the Centers for Disease Control, the National Health Service, to, quote, inform your content. So you can't speculate on any other part of this openly on this platform, according to these guidelines. We're being fooled, folks. You can't speculate on any links to the Cornholio to new technologies that are coming out. You know about these new technologies. There was 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we're about to go to the next one, right? And there are some connections there. Look into that. But you can't talk about it, and if you look into it, I don't know how much you're going to find because they're scrubbing this stuff. You can't say that Cornholio targets certain demographic groups, even though that has been reported, I've seen on some of the mainstream news channels. You can't speculate that it might be a hoax or something else. You can't speculate that it might be a distraction, a hoax, part of a bigger operation to assert control by our government onto us, the people. This is ushering in the beast system, in my opinion, and this video may get pulled or purged or whatever because of what I'm saying, according to the new guidelines. But this is the fact. This is what's happening. If you don't see it, you're not looking, That is exactly what's happening. Pay attention, stay prepared, pray, love your neighbors, love your family, and spend this time that you've got now to get things together if you don't already. Food shortages are right around the corner. Rationing is already begun. Bread lines, and then certainly when the time comes for us to take that step or that procedure, that mark, that cure-all, whatever it is they're going to roll out, it's not going to allow us as Americans to do and go and be and buy and sell and participate in society without. That's when a hard choice has got to be made. That's when a very hard choice has got to be made for many. For me, it's not a hard choice. It's not one I look forward to by any means, okay? Because I know what it means. I know what it means for me and my family to make that choice. And I know what choice I'm making, As for me and my house, we serve the Lord. Period. So, just something to think about. Thank you guys for being along on this ride. We'll see where it takes us next. Until then, I am the Real World Prepper, and I appreciate you being here. Bye-bye.